Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time for more Turnabout Beginnings. We are getting into the second half of this one. I'm really excited because for Mia, our very first client was a death row inmate, and now we have proven, or at least put the speculation, that he was not the one who put the body in the trunk. Let's get into it. I still have more questions, but I'm not 100% sure. Mr. Halls, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're really good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime... Yeah, and there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Which is, how did he break out of prison? That is the biggest issue. Our client still escaped prison. I don't think we're, having to deal with that part of his, trial, but he still broke out of prison. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. Is this involving her mom? Or is it— oh wait, the murder. The kidnapping murder case of Zebra Boy is on Death Row 4. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Halls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago. I kidnapped. I knew it! I knew it last episode. I knew it! It was this whole entire thing. Because those... Now, we can't trust Valerie Hawthorne's or Melissa Foster's age, because that was the same, I think? Or maybe it's a little bit higher. But if we presume that this age is right, that's still sketch as hell. He's 20, she's 14. That's still sketch as hell. Even though this Japanese age of consent laws would have still been 14, so it still would have been sketchy. But, I knew it! Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? Girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer. And I kill her. Yeah, this was at the start of this one. Or yesterday. Sorry. But you're not going to get the chance. She looks so much younger than 14 in that photo. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. Oops, wrong voice. It's fine. At first, I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No, protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. Make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, I love... Did he actually... I'm not... He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything. Yes, this is 100%. Dolly is like this like very manipulative sociopath. And we kind of see how like Halls, it's very... I'm gonna say kind of impressionable. This is 1000% something I could see Dahlia taking advantage of, considering how quickly she was ready to take advantage of Phoenix, right? I fully see it. Anything Dahlia says. Hold on a minute. What you're saying is the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia and Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich, jewelry business, we get 1 jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap notes we sent to her dad. As for 2 million diamond, tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. And tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. She'd shoot at me for real, me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm, Dahlia. She jump in river. Jump. You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Fawles, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. Okay, so there has to be a it kind of makes sense for Dahlia to get... Like, what I'm fully imagining is that Dahlia and Valerie had this whole idea planned up. Terry Fawles was going to kind of be the throwaway guy. Like, essentially because this could launch her career, you know, give her a massive place of sympathy. Dahlia, from what we've seen, kind of wants, like, the attention and everyone, like, on, like everyone's attention and all of that. So, like, kind of being the spotlight kind of makes sense. And it could be the fact, because there's this whole thing. I know I'm doing speculation now. In this note, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. So I'm presuming that that's probably the entire idea of taking, like, this thing that was, like, planned up. And that would make sense for Dahlia to kill her. But we have, like, what is there an aspect of amnesia, or is the entire profile of Melissa Foster intentionally created, or is this amnesia? That's what I'm curious about. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. But again, we have the whole prison break aspect. That we have no idea what caused him to do this in the first place. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why. That's why he made a crazy escape like that. So if he made this call in prison, like, how is this not recorded? And if he made this call from prison, why are there no records of this call? Also, did he get the face tattoos before or after the kidnapping? Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tickling all over. Tell me, Mr. Halls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom, the $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia. That day, on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone. With Dahlia. Gone. Forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia. Huh. Wait a minute. You come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Halls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia. I'm not saying it. Here, teen angel. How old was she anyway? Don't confirm this information, Diego. Don't make us confirm this. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man, angels these days. Quit saying it with such a weird look on your face, Diego. Halls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne or is an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeves now. You bet. Training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Let's get into it. Wait, all this took place on Valentine's Day? Yeah, that's weird. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Fawles. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
Huh. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand even a defense attorney wanting to get her client off the hook. However, try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? Huh. It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figure that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Fey, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Sir Armando? Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is a mark of a bro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that.
Excuse me. May I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course! Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
Huh. I see. You're such an honest, upstanding young lady. Haven't we proven that she's lied multiple times on the witness stand? Okay, buddy. It looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Wait, did Dahlia Hawthorne kill Melissa Foster and assume her identity? I'm just asking. Huh, indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Unfortunately, we don't have a penalty for pressing anything. The biggest thing that we have is this. And then we also have the bring up Dahlia. Unchanged for 5 years. The trunk. Wait. Okay. Damn it. No, because everything we've said with Dahlia Hawthorne, sorry, Valerie Hawthorne, has been, she's a police. She's like, that's all been brought up. I was gonna say, how does she know that it's a police officer? Okay, let's start pressing and see what we can find. So, what country were you living in then?
We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed.
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. How convenient.
What kind of sob story is this? What do? Should I press her for details? Always press until we get, like, slapped in the face and said no. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in, and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. I never asked anything about fucking languages, Edgeworth. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Halls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we... Okay.
Yes, please, Mr. Judge.
Okay, let's add that. Okay. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Oh, well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence.
So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway?
I just love being outdoors, picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to.
Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess.
Didn't know you were such a goth.
By the way, what was the name of your college?
The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she's a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are malicious in intent.
Thank you. She's really gone too far.
Miss Fey, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car.
Well, that's...
Unfortunately, Miss Fey, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time, an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair.
That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
Let's continue to just press everything. A grudge?
Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained he's innocent of those charges. Also, that's speculation, Edgeworth.
He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that, Mr. Hawes. How does she know? Again, like, in my mind, and from what I always remember, it's like the witness isn't allowed to listen to testimony from like anyone else in order to like kind of keep their, you know, what they saw, what they had happened to them separate from like what is being told in court. So how would she have technically known about like half of this? You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Right. That's why the victim was wearing the scarf as identification.
Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Hawes' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's not best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? I want to add it. Because anytime that we get stuff added, it gives us more stuff to press and more stuff to contradict. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like to add it to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not what I... Enough. Witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge.
Hold on. Does that not look blue to anyone else? Like, that doesn't look white. What do you mean? Okay.
Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I'd accidentally worn a white scarf like he said...
And you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. I want to press this. This entire that scarf looks way too blue to be white. But, like, I don't know if it's just me and I'm losing it, or if it is, in fact, actually blue, and the only way she would have known about this white scarf is here. That's my thing. The fact that this isn't white, I don't know if that is actually, if I'm onto something, or if I'm losing it. Let's do it. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. You're talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. The scarf the policeman woman was wearing.
I've got her now. Just don't mess up.
That's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf.
White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. Okay, thank goodness. I thought I was losing my mind for a minute. Well, it was foggy that day and it was raining as well. It's not surprising she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is I'm thinking it's this. Because the scarf's not there. Witness, have you ever seen this note?
No, no, never.
It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that she would have. I wonder about that.
What do you mean?
This note shows Mr. Hall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says wear white scarf for identification. White scarf. Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Miss Foster.
No.
Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Fawles is one, the person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. What's this? Who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Fey must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was a victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Fawles. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. Wait, doesn't it take... How many years does it take before someone's considered legally dead if the body's never found? Isn't it like 10 or 15? I really don't know. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Also, the fact that Valerie is like, I need to go talk to Dahlia about this. Are we ignoring that? Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are.
Objection!
That's conjecture. That is straight up conjecture. Even you couldn't, Miss Fey. You're not saying. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nice work. Oh, it's like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. And unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now is my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't say any more, witness.
Yes, I understand.
The Von Karma and Edgeworth. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all our witnesses.
What did he say?
Again, he knew. Looks like the kid knew. Knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way, but then why?
If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so we made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. Well, as you can see.
Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? Also, why did you give her a fake name? The corruption that is oozing out of Edgeworth right now. Which I really do like this fact, because we did have, like, this entire aspect of, like, oh, like, he, like, meant well when he was, like, a prosecutor, but now we get to see, like, the Von Karma in him. And it's really interesting.
That has nothing to do with the current case.
He was accused of murder when the victim never died. You can still, like, do the kidnapping charges, but you can't really accuse a someone of murder when the person's still alive. It's attempted.
She was merely an accidental witness to a crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder.
Really, Miss Fey, I must say, your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win.
A witness who faked her own murder. The person who supposedly killed her is on death row for that. And she shows up to her own sister's murder. I'm sorry, I know, like, this might just be a little bit too many coincidences, Edgeworth. Just a bit.
At any cost.
How dare you?
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. And even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Fey must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. But if now that you've proven that Dahlia Hawthorne is alive, then we can also question where that $2 million rock is.
What?
I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fey, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see, we have
The rock evidence. I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Please tell me that wasn't Grossberg, because I just made him sound like, what's his face?
That wasn't me, it was this guy, this crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets? You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No, you've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashness of youth, how charming.
This is coming from someone younger than me.
Now then, let's not waste any more time, Miss Fey. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? My thing is, there's the entire aspect of whatever this truth is. The whole truth must come out. But then also the rock. But I guess the rock is going to be used later. Because the whole truth coming out feels very, like, dun-dun-dun. The story starts after Terry Fawles escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Fey. If you like fiction, that is. Lighten the court, Miss Fey. What is the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Fawles. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh, yes, I know the secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful. Can you enlighten us once more, my little make-believe? Don't stop.
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles.
5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Fawles. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Fawles in the arm. That's when Mr. Fawles tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life.
The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe that after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Fey?
Yes, Your Honor.
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up, we still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Fawles told us that in the lobby. Do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping that happened 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia and Valerie too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. So I'm presuming that we can't press anything. He couldn't have pushed... Wait, not that. Oh, okay. Okay. I want to press, but I guess we can't press anything. This evidence establishes that the defendant is lying, right? Wait. That was... Did I click the wrong one? Did I mess up? Shoot, hold on. Okay, I was right, but I hit the wrong thing. Okay, so if he pushed her backwards. This comes later. Okay, I went too far. My bad. Mainly when it comes to some of like the, I don't get depressed, that I'm like, ooh, I'm not sure. You say that Mr. Hawes pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe.
But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Hawes.
I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible.
Impossible?
I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you had claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as witness testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Hawes panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
this is
What is it called? Oh god, it's the thing where you kind of, instead of being what happened, it's is this out? Is this the way? It's kind of persuading a little bit. But there's a different word for it, I think.
Now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Miss Fey's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Now, Mia, this is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Fey's assault. What?
I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Hawes panicked. Therefore, he couldn't have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say, that's impossible.
Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it?
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court records.
Then we use this one because of how high the wires are. He wouldn't have been able to push her. You literally have to lift or jump it. Okay, now I have it in the right order.
Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo.
Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. Let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over.
So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Hawes had been shot in the right arm.
And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range.
So, Mr. Hawes throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible.
Order, what is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive, and this fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids. That diamond. It's gotta be the diamond, right? 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had planned it all from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Hawes to help her with the fake kidnapping, my bad. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. You really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? She was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Hawes, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Wait, how many people has Dahlia killed? Okay, like, she killed her sister. We believe that she killed Diego. She killed the boyfriend from the first one. I am so excited to see who comes next. Because that's 3 right there. She's only, what, 20-something? I mean, she's not a serial killer because there's a way too much of a cool-off period. But still. Actually, wait. No, you need the cool-off period. Spree and serial is separated by that. But I don't know if there's a, like, X amount of time. Because I thought it was within a certain amount of time. Oh gosh, now I don't remember. Oh, this is embarrassing. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. I thought Edgeworth never lost a case. Who's that? Laughing at a time like this?
Forgive me, it's just hilarious.
Oh, witness? Is that you?
You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you?
Evidence?
Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Hawes and my sister.
Well,
And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't prove evidence to at least show that.
Well, Miss Fey,
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something?
how can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
Of course you are.
Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I could do about it? Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Hall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. And that's what you think, right?
Yes, that's right.
In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who could testify to the demon woman's crime? We have to bring Terry Fawles up onto the stand, don't we? Like, that's the only person.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness.
A new witness?
Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Fawles.
The defendant.
There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There is only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Fawles.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
This is my last chance, Mr. Fawles. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left.
Defendant, you've heard... Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Fawles, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million.
That's not true. Mr. Fawles, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie? Or was it Dahlia?
Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never betray each other.
Terry?
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore. That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
This is how we lose. Because Terry is not going to testify against Dahlia. That's what happens. This is how we're still able to... Like, we essentially prove everything, but because Terry refuses to testify, it's how we're also still able to keep Edgeworth's, like, winning streak, even though he went up against Mia.
because he's going to refuse to testify. Because for some reason, they never took her out of the courtroom when they brought Terry in. I will allow Mr. Halls to testify once and only once. Well then, Mr. Halls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry. I apologize. Water, please. Water. Huh? Can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitter than hell itself. He's going to say it's Valerie. He's not going to say it was Dahlia. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Halls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fey. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Mrs. Fey, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Halls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten, I think. Okay. Okay, that... So we can do it for any of these, but essentially, with this, it proves that Halls wasn't there first because of the bridge.
Objection!
So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well then, I'm sure too, Mr. Halls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Huh? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fey. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Halls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Halls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock, it's true. I had somewhere to go, a special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under a base of tree there. It's the necklace! It's the poison necklace! It's the poison necklace! It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle and necklace is your memento. It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock, but then he left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed, there certainly wasn't enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Halls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Halls? enough. Please. Witness! I promised her 5 years ago. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No! You're so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Halls!
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Did he use that? He used that. Mr. Halls!
Oh my god. And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Oh my god. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando! We were so close to the truth, it was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Halls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Don't make that face right after you just cut your hand on your coffee cup.
Please. Why couldn't they have given him a different face? Not a different face, but like, why do you have to angle it that way? I don't know why, but it feels weirdly suggestive, and it's not the time for this, Armando. Someone is dead on the witness stand. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. And you file them away and eventually forget them.
Everyone is dead in this.
1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfectly angelic smile on her face. We still haven't figured out why Phoenix is in the hospital, though. It was finally all over, at least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that made me remember all this. Are you? Oh! I am way too excited now for episode 5. I really want to get into episode 5 now. I'm so mad that it's going to be the last episode of this one. This one has been really good. Like, Like, I feel like I'm really curious about, like, I feel like there has to be some connection. Like, everything has been Dahlia Hawthorne, but, like, that, like, you could say, like, Stolen Turnabout kind of had this, like, that could be the one that's not connected. But I feel like we had so many loose ends in Recipe for Turnabout that it feels like it wouldn't make sense for none of that, like, the Cadaverine family or any of that. Like, we did not have to necessarily set that up to kind of have this implication of something much bigger. And then everything with Dahlia Hawthorne from the first case to the previous, the one we just did, and then to the next one. Like, it's felt like there's been something intertwined in it that I am just really, honestly, I'm really excited to see. And I can't wait. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around because the next episode we'll be diving into that next case, and it's the last case for this game. Trials and Tribulations has been really fun. I will talk more about it all at the end. But this case was honestly really interesting, and I think the entire fact of, like, not having that outcome, like, not having the guilty or not guilty because Terry Fawles killed himself, because Dahlia Hawthorne had manipulated him to a point. Which, again, you could say, like, oh, she's terrible and it's unrealistic, like a 14-year-old could do this. But considering how impressionable Terry felt, it makes sense. Like, for me, kind of just seeing a lot of this, like, kind of, it makes a lot of sense. So, I am super excited to see what happens next. Because I feel like everything is going to get wrapped up. The only thing that I don't think in any of the Phoenix Wright games so far is everything with Maya and Mia's mother. We had that brought up, and it feels like it's kind of gotten a little bit lost. So I don't know if that's going to end up getting wrapped up. But I feel like, Mia's entire story, and maybe even, Dahlia being, found guilty of everything could be the thing that kind of lets Mia finally rest. And also because we had the entire thing in which Mia was killed in the first game. So then we have all, like, I feel like there's so much that is going to culminate into this. And I'm a little bit sad because I really do love the Phoenix Wright games and I want to keep playing more of them, but I don't have any more. And this is going to be the last one. So hope you guys join me for the final case of Trials and Tribulations and the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. I'll see y'all then. Bye.